have not ridden an electric longboard since early 2020, and the last board I had was a Evolve GTX. Now I have this. I bought this in April 2026 when they had the Easter sales on. One of the first things I noticed was this here. I'm not sure how I missed this when going over the pictures online, but that screw just holds the axle that the wheel goes on there. The bamboo on this is lovely. The belt covers actually go over the motor plate. You can see there. So when you stand the board up, the motor protector takes the damage instead of the motor plate. You can see there's a bit of a I don't know what you would call that. The teeth don't go all the way, which keeps the belt centered, I guess. Back when I had the GTX, the teeth went all the way, and sometimes the belt would be a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. The cable management system is a lot better on this compared to previous boards. And compared to the GTX, this has, I guess, 3-spoke hubs, where the other boards had 5-spoke. The aluminium chucks are very nice. I like the unpainted finish, but the motor plate is black. It would be nice if they were also unpainted, but that's okay. Compared to previous boards, it's actually quite thick, but it's a small trade-off to have weather sealing. If I could be really picky, it would be great if they smoothed off the rough edge on the truck here that you can see. Also, one of the first things that I do now is replace the old nuts and bolts with stainless steel ones. So these ones here that you can see, they're all stainless steel because they do rust. Also, the ones on top here are stainless steel. Over time they get a bit rusty. There's a local place that sells fasteners, so I took one of each screw, nut and washer and told them how many I wanted, and I think it cost less than $20. I think it was $12, but I could be wrong. I don't usually ride with the belt covers on, but these ones look nice, so I decided to leave them on. I chose the aluminium drive gear because why not? Also, the hubs, they have a extrusion in the middle there. You might be able to see it. I think that's to save weight, which I think is a great idea. And when you have the necessary tools, it makes working on your board much more satisfying. I could be wrong, but I thought these shipped with precision ceramics. Mine came with speed balls, which are stainless steel. But I'm not too worried about that because I've had stainless steel ones before, and honestly, I can't really tell the difference, hey. What I like about these bearings is that they have inbuilt spacers, and that also means that you don't need speed rings. One thing to note is that the skate tool does not fit these nuts. See, it just, it's a bit small, but it does fit the bolt that they supplied me. Fits very well. If you look here, it's not sitting flush compared to the other side, which to me
does look quite flush.
This is basically what I was hoping the GTX would be. I also changed the pivot cups, which was a bit of a struggle. I'm going to install these riptide pivot caps. Funnily enough, when I took the second part of the truck off, the pivot cut just came out with it. This is what the bushing looks like. You can see there's a bit of a... it's not smooth on the side. And then this is what I will have. More pivot cups. I'm going to spray some lithium grease onto a Q-tip and then line the inside with the lithium grease. You might not be able to see it, but I did it off camera. I accidentally ordered two different coloured ones. We've got yellow and purple. Purple is 90A, yellow is 92A. So I'm going to have the stiffer ones closer to the deck. Yes. Get my setup right. That is loose as. The trucks were way too loose. See how much play there is here. That's the washer. That's nice. I'll put the old one on. There's still a little bit of play. That's tight. You see how much play there is there? Let's compare it to the old one. Nice and tight. No play at all. Yellow ones are good. No play. So it's just the purples. After looking back at the website, they do actually specify that the purple ones are for the older generation boards, not for the Diablo boards. The remote is fantastic. The amount of dampening in this trigger, perfect. It's more on the stiff side. It's more on the stiffer side, but I love that. Same as this, the dampening on both is about the same, and also there's not that much play in here. If you wiggle it, there's no wiggling side to side. It's just back and forth. I've also replaced the screws on the remote with stainless steel screws. What do you think about that? I have had an issue where the trip was incorrect. It just froze, stayed at whatever kilometers it was, and didn't start working again after 3 or so kilometers. It paused around 11 kilometers into the ride and it stayed there for another 3 kilometers, and after that it started working again. Also, I have found this, it moves a little bit. I don't know if you see that. That is being very picky though. The board has 4 speed modes: safe, eco, fast and Corsa. I tried fast mode and the acceleration was too sensitive for me. Once I dropped down into eco mode, it was perfect. Acceleration, super smooth. Braking, also super smooth. I loosened up the bushings and it still felt a bit stiff, and that's why I upgraded the bushings. I now have a mix of the yellow 92A, I believe, as well as black ones. And it rides a little bit on the carvier side, but that's how I prefer to have it. As for top speed, I do not have the cojones to hit the top speed. I go as fast as I am comfortable. I look down at the remote and it says 37-38 kilometers per hour. And as for the range, I think the longest ride I did was a little bit over 30 kilometers, and my legs were stuffed after that. So my legs give up before the board does. The GTX was notorious for voltage sag. I haven't noticed any voltage sag on the Diablo. The Diablo has more than enough performance for the average rider like me, and I am very satisfied with my purchase.